What's good, sports fans? Are you ready to elevate your live entertainment experience? Well, let me introduce you to SeatGeek, an amazing platform that connects you to your favorite events while saving you money. With SeatGeek, you can easily find tickets for sports games, concerts, and so much more, all in one place. The interface is user-friendly, making it simple to browse and compare prices. And one of the best features is the interactive seating chart. You can see exactly where you'll be sitting and how much you'll be spending, ensuring you get the best value for your money. But here's the best part. Check this out. By using my promo code, Chalk It Up Sports, you can enjoy a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. That's right, $20 off your first SeatGeek order. Imagine catching that thrilling game or concert without breaking the bank. It's a win-win situation. Plus, you'll be a part of a community of fans who eat, sleep, and breathe live events just as much as you do. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description to download the SeatGeek app today. And don't forget to use my promo code Chalk It Up Sports for a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. Get excited. Now let's get back to the show. What up? What's good? This is your boy, Tone DeShields II. You guys are locked in on your dose of Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. You know the vibes, you know the energy, you know where my body be. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys are engaged. Make sure you guys are live and in full effect in that chat section, man. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the hate. I appreciate the real. I appreciate the fakes. You feel me? Make sure you guys are locked in no matter what it is, man. You can love watch me. You can hate watch me. Whatever it is, I'm going to be on your computer screen. I'm going to be on your LCD screen or LSD screen, whatever the hell it is. I'm going to be in your cell phone. I'm going to be in your dreams. I'm going to be in your nightmares. Just make sure you show me love and you show me respect when you see me. Make sure you guys remain engaged, man. So happy to be here. Today, we are going to do a mock draft, our first mock draft of the off season. Can't wait to get into this, right? So we're going to have some parameters in place. Normally when I do these mock drafts, I kind of just freewheel it and I kind of just go with the flow, but we're going to kind of have a little bit of a structure to this, okay? So make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are engaged. I'm going to try to take my time before I get too deep into it because I understand there are going to be some people who are still funneling into this thing, but the plan is to have a little bit more structure to this mock draft that we're doing, right? Normally, I take all of you guys' input. Normally, I listen to a lot of you guys and see what you have to say. I'm going to be making my own decisions here. We're going to commit to said decisions, and then we're going to review the names that we select after the fact. So make sure you guys lock in, get comfortable, kick your feet up, get your beverages, get your snacks, get your weed, you know what I mean? Get your afternoon soiree going, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, if you got a martini, sometimes they call it a nightcap, call it a day cap, you feel me? Whatever you need to get comfortable. Make sure the kids got what they need. Make sure you pick the kids up from school, you know what I mean? Make sure all your responsibilities are out of the way. Make sure they're all out of the way. All right. I don't need nobody making no ill decisions. Make sure all your responsibilities are taken care of. If you on your way home from work, make sure you run your errands. Do what you got to do. If you are on your way into work, hey man, make sure you guys stay locked in. You feel me? So I appreciate you guys. Hey, even if you're at the nail salon, you know what I mean? Make sure they don't chip nothing. make sure they pick the color you want. You know what I mean? And shout out to my girl Fanny. So I appreciate you guys for locking in. Can't wait to get into it. So, all right, we ain't gonna waste too much time, man. So here's how we're doing this. We're gonna do our first mock draft, our Eagles mock draft 1.0. We're going to be doing several of these leading up to the NFL draft. We're going to be doing a handful of these, okay? So this won't be the last one. But this is how it's going to go. We're going to go through one mock draft. We're going to go through all 7 rounds, okay? I'm going to be selecting for the Philadelphia Eagles through all 7 rounds. No other team, no other organization, okay? On top of that, in this first mock draft, we're not doing any trades. In this first one, that's not me saying trades aren't going to be on the horizon. That doesn't mean that I don't believe trades are going to happen on draft night with the Philadelphia Eagles. That's not what that means. But what I'm saying, for the purposes of this specific mock draft, for this specific one that we're doing today, we're going through all 7 rounds. I'm picking for the Eagles only. And we're not doing any trades today. And we're going to go through this mock draft one time. And once we go through the mock draft, once we select all of the players that we're able to select, then we're going to evaluate each player and go through the scouting reports, go through the various reports detailing the strengths, the weaknesses, the profiles, the bios of said players we select. Because a lot of you guys do watch college football. I don't watch college football that much, just being totally transparent with you guys. So I'm going to be learning a lot about these guys as this mock draft goes. Okay? But we're going to review every pick that we do. And we're going to go over each individual selection. Upside, downside, did we reach, whatever it is. But we're going through this mock draft one time. And we're going through all 7 rounds. And I'm going to be selecting for the Philadelphia Eagles only. And we will be reviewing each pick individually, giving them each their own allotted amount of time so we can learn more about these prospects, okay? So get comfortable. We're going to have some fun with this thing. There may be some disagreements. There may be some celebrations in terms of who I pick, right? And don't get me wrong, I am going to look at what you guys are saying. But I'm ultimately going to make my own decision. And if my decision just so happens to fall in line with what a lot of you guys are saying, then hey, so be it. But I'm looking forward to it because, like I said, this is not going to be the last one. We have a month until draft night. We have legit 30 days or a month, however you want to describe it. We have exactly 1 month before the NFL draft. So I think it's time we start doing everything possible to make sure we are prepared come draft night. So again, this won't be the last mock draft. There's a strong chance we may do, I'll be honest with you guys. There's a strong chance we may do 5 or 6 of these. There's a strong chance we may do at least 5 of these leading up to the draft. There's a strong chance. And each one is going to be different. So I'm going to be recording each person that we draft here to make sure I do it or I approach it a little bit differently. But just as a reminder, today we won't be doing trades. That's the caveat of today. We won't be trading out of where we are. We're going to let the draft board fall the way it's going to fall. And we're going to select who's ever available to us. Okay? Like it says, 1.0, baby. 1.0. And we just may make it to 5.0 or 7.0. You never know. So let's get it done, you guys. Mock Draft Monday, as my man S. Blunt put it. Let's get it to it, all right? This is going to be fun. Now, I understand a lot of you guys have your own preferences as far as the draft platforms that you like using. Me personally, I'm going to use the Pro Football Sports Network. I'm going to use the Pro Football Network mock draft simulator. And there's a chance we may use a different one on different mock drafts. But I'm going to use this one a few times. I'm going to use a different one at later dates. And we're going to try to rotate these things and just see which mock drafts, make a little bit more sense based off of the platform we use. But today we're going to use the Pro Football and Sports Network Draft Simulator. Okay. This is my favorite run. This is my favorite one because of the simplicity of it. And let me see something real quick. My man S. Blunt just asked a very important question here. He says, Tone, I have a question. Do we need to clarify our needs first? Well, possibly, but I mean, I feel like we've had that conversation a lot. I feel like we've had that conversation a lot as far as what the Eagles potentially need. I know we've discussed defensive line, in particular edge rusher. Some people feel like we need to draft another defensive tackle, tight end, right? Offensive line, safety. I think we're all pretty keen to what the needs are. I think we're all pretty keen to what the needs are, right? Now it's just a matter of how we prioritize those needs. At least that's how I'm looking at it. Eagles Realist says, I think everybody knows what we need, but it's just the order. Yeah, I would have to agree with Eagles Realist, even though that is a good question, though. That is a really good question that S. Blunt just asked, right? Because we want to make sure we enter this with the right intentions and we enter this with the right set of priorities. But again, I think we all know from a positional standpoint what we need to target. The question is, how do we prioritize those positions in this upcoming draft? All right. Okay. Let me read some of your comments before we get started. Lance Elliott says defensive front, got to grab one of those dudes in the best D-line drafting years. That's what I'm hearing as well. Money says, I really think that this draft is really hard to predict, even more than most years' picks. 10-32 could legit be anybody this draft. Jason R says, or maybe D-line, tight end, safety. D-line got to be first. I know that. Brahim Jones. Brahim, what's going on, man? Brahim has just become a new member of the channel. Shout out to Brahim. I really do appreciate you for locking in on the channel. I appreciate you for being a consistent viewer and making the monthly investment in me, my friend. I really do appreciate you for that. So we're going to get into this thing. Fanny, she says, biggest question is, will Howie go off the grid again and draft outside of the SEC Big Ten again? It's funny, the 2021 draft, the 2022 draft, he definitely leaned SEC early on. And then 2024 was a little different because of the talent that Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean were able to display on the college level. Like they were known as two of the best corners, two of the top 5 corners in that draft class. So, yeah, I would definitely say Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean were outliers for their position in comparison to the schools they went to. KGK says, I think safety and tight end before D-line. Dashay James says, Tone, check out Jack Sawyer, the edge rusher from Ohio State University, when you get a chance. Oh, yeah, I heard about him. White dude. Heard about him. Violent. Powerful kid. KO to Green with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Greeny. I appreciate it, man. He says, I hear D-line depth is crazy, but not really top end talent-wise. More so a lot of second-round talents, and that's where the depth lies. So to your point, Chaotic, there aren't necessarily any D linemen that are leaps and bounds above the other. Hence why the draft is so deep. Like the disparity, the talent disparity isn't as wide as we're used to seeing it. Is that what you're saying, Chaotic? Are you basically implying that the talent disparity between the best D lineman versus maybe the top 10 D lineman, maybe ranked fifth, sixth, seventh, or eighth, the talent disparity isn't vast. Therefore, you probably shouldn't have to reach. Is that what you're saying? Because if that's your point, you're not the first person I've heard say that. Like the pool is so deep that like the talent difference between the top guy and maybe the fifth or seventh guy isn't the greatest, or even the talent disparity between the fifth guy isn't that crazy from the 12th guy. I can roll with that. So does that imply, to your point, Chaotic, because we're about to get started, and also Melly J agrees with you, by the way. Melly J agrees with you. So Chaotic and everyone else, are you guys basically saying, to your point, I shouldn't have to reach for a D lineman? Or to take it a step further, I shouldn't have to draft a D lineman in this first round? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? That I don't have to draft D lineman in the first round? Humble Servant says we don't need a D tackle with the first two picks of this draft. Money says I totally agree with Chaotic. I like the D tackles in this draft better than the D ends in this draft. Sweet Chin Music says I don't disagree with that. The issue is we don't draft until the end of the second. That's a good point, Sweet Chin. That's a very good point. So to your point, Sweet Chin, there's a chance that we actually can let the D-line draft this fall to us and just pick best available, right? Like, so, okay. Yeah. So, Sweet Chin, because they pick at 32, I can just let the D-line draft fall to me. I don't have to reach for anybody. Or no matter who you pick, or rather, because I like the way you guys are thinking. Rather, not that I have to reach for anybody. The fact is, whoever I pick at 32, if it's a D lineman, it won't be considered a reach. Is that what you're basically saying? It won't be a reach because the talent disparity isn't drastic. No matter who it is, it won't really be a reach. I think I see what you're saying here. Jason R says Milton Williams accounted for over 40% of the snaps. We can't rely on replacing him with a project. Get a for sure DT that is going to be a force day one. Jason, to your point, Milton Williams, with all due respect, this was his first year getting these type of snaps. Years prior, he was always behind Fletcher, Javon Hargrave, Jordan Davis. Like he wasn't Ndamukong Suh, Linval Joseph. Milton Williams, this was his first year getting big snaps. And I can argue Moro Ojomo is already on the trajectory or already on the path of Milton Williams. I can argue that. S. Blunt with the super chat. He says to clarify the prioritized pick, we can run a poll. Let's try that. Let's try that. We're going to run a poll here. We're going to run a poll for the top priority in the 2025 NFL draft. We're going to run a poll here. Okay. Okay. We're running a poll. I just posted a poll or a survey. I just posted a survey for you guys. And I want to take a temperature check of where you guys are. What are you guys thinking in regards to the priorities? The votes are definitely rolling in. Make sure you guys continue to smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Thank you for the super chat, S. Blunt. Okay. We got 22 votes so far. 45% of you guys are saying D-line. Okay, you guys are really leaning towards safety here. 50% of you guys are leaning safety. So we have over 100 people in the live chat, in the live stream. We only got 27 votes. Make sure you guys keep voting. Keep voting, keep voting, keep voting. Keep smashing that like button as well, okay? It seems like it's a battle between D-line and safety. Okay, we're at 29 votes. 52% of you guys want a safety. If you guys are just joining the live stream here, we're going to be starting a mock draft in a little bit. But before we do so, I'm getting a temperature check of the people. Just checking the temperature to see what you guys believe the top priority should be in the NFL draft. 39 votes so far, and 56% of you guys are saying safety. We got 113 people tuned into the live stream right now via YouTube, 115 to be exact. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys continue to attack that survey we got at the top of the chat. All right, chat. Make sure you guys stay active in that live chat. All right, here we go. We got 41 votes, 42 votes, 43 votes, and 56% of you guys are saying safety. So safety has become the overwhelming choice. Safety has become the overwhelming choice. If 55% of you guys are saying safety, that means about 25 of you guys, over 20 of you guys. Yeah, about 25 of you guys are saying safety based off the voting. We got 46 votes. Okay. All right. So we're going to get started. We're going to get started here. All right. Remember what I told you guys. We're going to go through, if you guys are just joining the live stream, I'm going to lay out the parameters. I'm going to lay out the rules and regulations to today's mock draft, okay? So we're going to be going through this mock draft one time, all right? One time and one time only. The Philadelphia Eagles have 8 picks in this upcoming draft. Today, we are not going to be doing trades. I repeat, we are not going to be doing trades today. That's not to say when we do our other mock drafts later down the line, there won't be trades. We will do trades at some point, but today, for this specific mock draft, the Eagles mock draft 1.0, we will not be doing trades. So we will be selecting these draft picks as they stand. So the Philadelphia Eagles have the 32nd overall pick, the 64th, the 96th, the 134th, the 161st, the 164th, the 165th, and the 168th. So they have a first rounder, a second, a third, a fourth, and 4 fifths. Okay, that's 8 picks total. We will not be doing any trades today, but we will do trades when we do our next mock draft at a later date. And for the record, before the upcoming draft, we have about a month before it gets here. We're going to be doing at least 5 of these things, at least, right? So you guys are going to see mock draft 3.0, mock draft 5.0, maybe mock draft 6, 7, 8.0. You feel what I'm saying? We're going to be doing a lot of these, and I'm also going to be using different platforms, different mock draft simulators to make sure we get a large pool of possibilities. And I'm also going to be recording all my findings here. Okay. So today we're using the Pro Football Network's draft simulator. And I'm going to approach each draft with a different mindset, with a different set of priorities. Okay. And once we select our people, we're going to review each selection. We're going to read their draft profiles via NFLDraftBuzz.com. I really love NFL Draft Buzz. I love the way they set up their draft profiles, the players' strengths and weaknesses. I love the way they break down all their pro day and combine metrics. It's a very organized platform. So we're going to use Pro Football Network as our mock simulator, and we're going to use NFL Draft Buzz to review and look at each prospect's, each selection's draft profile. Okay? And we're going to do a 7-round draft. And I'm only going to be picking for the Philadelphia Eagles. So let's get this thing started. And for the record, 64 of you guys voted, and overwhelmingly, 52% of you guys said safety is the top priority. 33% of you guys said D-line is the top priority, is the second top priority, or 33% of you guys think that D-line is the top priority. 9% of you say O-line is top priority. 6% say tight end. So safety overwhelmingly with 52% is the top priority, according to 64 voters. Let's get this thing going. All right. Here we go. All right. Things are going here. Malachi Starks has just been taken off the board. Michael Williams is gone. Josh Simmons is gone. Jalen Walker, Matthew Golden, Derek Harmon, Jade Barron, Nick Scorton, Nick Mawari, Emeka Ikuba. Okay. So 2 safeties are already off the board. Okay. Remember, I told you guys we're not doing any trades today. So we're going to reject these. So let's review who was taken. All right. Titans selected D tackle Mason Graham. The Browns took Cam Ward out of Miami. Abdul Carter went to the Giants. Armand Membu, tackle, went to the Patriots. Will Johnson, corner, went to the Jaguars. Travis Hunter, drafted by the Raiders. Shedeur Sanders goes to the Jets. Shamar Stewart goes to the Panthers. Tetsuroa McMillan went to the Saints. Will Campbell, offensive tackle, goes to the Bears. Malachi Stark, safety, goes to the 49ers. James Pierce Jr. goes to the Cowboys. Ooh, that's not a good place for him. That's not a good place for him. Not a good place for him, if everything I hear about him is true. Ashton Genty goes to Miami. Interesting. Tyler Warren, tight end, goes to the Colts. Tyler Booker, guard, goes to the Falcons. Kelvin Banks, Houston Texans. Michael Williams goes to the Bengals. Jalen Walker goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Matthew Golden goes to the Broncos. Derek Harmon goes to the Chiefs. Jade Barron, Chargers. Nick Scorton, Packers. Safety Nick Emenwari goes to the Vikings. Okay. Colston Loveland, Rams. Shavon Revel, Washington. Jihad Campbell, Alabama. Kenneth Grant, DT, goes to the Steelers. Okay. Like I said to you guys, if you're just joining the live stream, we will not be doing trades today. We're going to be doing trades at our next mock draft. We're not doing any trades today. We're going to let the draft board fall the way it is, and we're going to pick our guys. All right, so let's see what our options are. We're seeing Tyleik Williams, DT out of Ohio State. Walter Nolan, DT out of Ole Miss. Donovan Izuraku, edge out of Boston College. Amarian Hampton, running back out of North Carolina. Donovan Jackson, guard out of Ohio State. Mike Green, edge out of Marshall. Safety, Xavier Watts out of Notre Dame. Ooh, man. Interesting. Okay, so I think I'm going to go best available here. I'm going to go Walter Nolan, DT out of Ole Miss. We went Walter Nolan. D tackle, Ole Miss. All right. All right, you guys. Just so you know, we decided to go with Walter Nolan, defensive tackle out of Ole Miss. Now, going D-line isn't so far off from the Philadelphia Eagles mantra and what they believe in. Not too far off at all. This is enticing trade, but I don't need it. Okay. See what we're dealing with here. We're at pick 64. Let's see who was taken since our last pick. So since the Eagles selected Walter Nolan, the Browns selected Xavier Watts, the safety. Bengals took Tyleik Williams, D tackle. Chargers took Harold Fannin Jr. Detroit took Mike Green. Interesting. The Colts took Jalen Milroe. Wow. I'm not entirely surprised, though. Not entirely surprised by that. Buccaneers took Landon Jackson. San Fran took Deion Walker. Panthers took Maxwell Hairston. Cardinals took Lathan Ransom. Bears took Kevin Winston Jr. All right, our pick is here. I think I'm going to go defense again. Let me just see who's here first. I think I'm going to go defense again. Wow, they have him all the way down here. I thought he'd be higher. Okay, I won't reach for him then. All right. Let's see what you guys are saying. Andrew Mormon says Princely. Melly J says Princely. Michael DeJohn says take Princely. Sweet Shimmy says take JT. Someone says take Andrew Makuba. I think okay. I think I know what I'm gonna do. I think I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna gamble here. That'd be 2 players out of Ole Miss. I'm gonna gamble here. Now, I'm hoping this person I'm gambling for is still there. I'm gonna gamble here. I'm taking Princely. Oman Mealand. Oman Mealand. Edge. Ole Miss. Okay. Okay. Now, follow me here. I'm gonna do another gamble. Not another gamble, but let's just see. Hopefully he's here. And he is. They got him at 145, though. Do I have to reach for him? Where's my next pick? My next pick is my next pick is 134. Let's see. Okay. So far we have Walter Nolan and we have Princely. Walter Nolan and Princely Uman Milan. Let's see. I'm going to go. I'm going tight end right here. I'm going Gunnar Helm. I'm taking tight end. I'm going tight end here. All right, so here are our picks so far. Our picks are Walter Nolan, Princely Uman Milan, and Gunnar Helm. Okay, let's see. All right. I'm going for him. I'm taking him. I'm getting my safety. We got Malachi Moore here. We're going Malachi Moore here. All right. So let's just do a quick review, okay? These are our picks so far. We've selected Gunnar Helm, tight end, out of Texas. And we selected Malachi Moore. For some reason, Malachi Moore, they have him ranked as like the 145th top prospect on here. I got him at 134. I didn't want to take a chance. And we got Malachi Moore. Safety out of Alabama. Now, so far, how are we feeling about this? Let's do it. Let's do a quick temperature check. We drafted Walter Nolan in the first round, Princely Umanmielen in the second round, Gunnar Helm in the third, Malachi Moore in the fourth. How are we feeling about this so far? Be honest. I know a lot of you guys wanted Arroyo. The kid from Miami, right? Sweet Chin says, good draft so far. Dashe James says, that's a good draft. Sweet Chin Music says, no reaches. Good so far. Andrew Mormon says, love Nolan and Princely, but tight end should have been Arroyo or T. Ferg. More good value. Yeah, a lot of you guys were saying Elijah Arroyo, right? Is that his name? Elijah Arroyo? A lot of you guys were saying that. I'm seeing B plus. And look, you guys, draft grades are always funny because we ultimately don't know what these guys are going to be. We ultimately don't know. We're all guessing. So try to keep that in mind. You know, grading the draft is a little hard to do because we really don't know what they're going to do on the next level. But just keep in mind, think about value, think about position, think about, you know, their draft stock, and and maybe you watch these guys play, right? So I'm not going to discount that either, but just be mindful that draft grades are a little funny. As Blunt says, all right, we need our swing tackle to replace Fred now. So I'm glad you said that because we definitely gotta go O-line at some point. But okay, we've addressed the D-line, we've addressed tight end and safety. I think we can afford to go offense or at least O-line this time. That's what I think. So yeah, just as a reminder, you guys, in today's mock draft, our 1.0 version, we're not going to do any trades today. But when we do our next mock draft, we are going to do trades. I just wanted to get through this first one and just see how the draft board fell. Today, we're not doing any trades, and we're only doing one mock draft, and we're going to review everybody we picked up. So we got Walter Nolan in the first round, Princely Umanmielen in the second round. That's a D tackle and an edge, respectively. We drafted a tight end, Gunnar Helm, in the third round, and we drafted Malachi Moore, safety, out of the fourth round. Now we're in the fifth round. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see. Luke Kanger, Cincinnati. Let's look at the measure. 6'4", 319. Luke Kanger transferred from Louisville to Cincinnati after 2 seasons. He's an above-average athlete who goes off the ball quickly and moves well in space. He is also a physical offensive lineman who always plays with a high motor in the run game. Kanger is a disciplined player that has unbelievably been penalized just twice in his entire college career. He had elite pass blocking production this past season with 0 sacks and 8 pressures allowed on 447 snaps. Kendra does have stiff hips, which impacts his overall pad level. He's a strong anchor and pass pro and can hold up to bigger and more physical edge rushers in the run game. Kendra is an impressive second-level blocker. 6'4", 319. If he was a little taller, I probably would have took him at tackle. Offensive tackles, man. Let's see here. I don't want to reach for a tackle if I don't have to. I don't want to reach here. I got 4 picks left. I don't want to reach if I don't have to. But because I got all these picks in the 5th round, you know, you got to get your needs right. You know, it's funny. Now that I think about it, and again, I am going to stick to my guns, but the Philadelphia Eagles are definitely making plenty of trades on draft night. To have 4 picks in the 5th round, and they're all within 10 picks of each other. The Eagles got 161, 164, 165, and 168. The Philadelphia Eagles are definitely trading on draft night, especially on day 3. And I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm not doing any trades today. Even though I know for a fact in this 5th round, I'm definitely going to need to do trades at some point. But I'm going to stick to my guns today, and we're not going to do any trades today. But when we do our next draft, we're definitely trading out of some of these picks. Definitely. Because 4 picks in the 5th round is egregious. It's hard. You'll be reaching all day. So let's just go best available here. Let's just see what we're dealing with. Okay. Not reaching for a 5'10" receiver. No, you gotta have traits. Jalen, Virginia Tech. No, see, no. Jabbar Muhammad, Oregon, 5'9", 182. Dude's tiny, bro. Jeez. Linebacker, Jamon Dumas Johnson. This is crazy, I ain't gonna lie. It's crazy. Miles Frazier is a powerful and versatile offensive lineman with extensive experience across multiple positions. I like that. Primarily excellent at guard, he possesses a wide-bodied frame with long limbs and demonstrates strong play strength, effectively covering up targets and securing rush lanes on pulls, combos, and double teams en route to the 2nd level. Frazier times the snap well, quickly positioning himself in pass protection to establish first meaningful contact. However, his lateral agility is below average, and he can be late identifying stunts among defensive linemen. With team technical refinement, Frazier's potential to develop a reliable interior lineman. Okay. I can work with that. And his measurables are better than Luke Kandra's. I may have to go 317. Let's just say he puts on 15 to 20 pounds on the NFL level. Maybe about 6'6" with cleats. I'm going to go Miles Frazier, LSU. We're Miles Frazier, LSU. Now, here's the thing about Miles Frazier. He's listed as a guard, but he's 6'5". Miles Frazier is listed as 6'5", 317. the way I see it, the position versatility, how powerful he is, the wide body frame and the long arms, the athleticism to be able to pull, combo block, handle double teams, get to the second level, pass blocking ability. The things that they say he lacks, the lateral agility, as far as identifying stunts among defensive linemen, I think we can work on those things. I think we could work on those things. We could work on those things. So, okay. Miles Frazier, guard, LSU. I can work with some of those things he lacks. All right. Pick 164. Okay. With all due respect, you guys, I'm not drafting a 5'9" corner. I'm not. We have 3 picks left. We have pick 164, 165, and 168. So far, we've selected Walter Nolan, D tackle, Princely Uman-Meland, edge rusher out of Ole Miss, Gunnar Helm, tight end out of Texas, Malachi Moore, safety out of Alabama, Miles Frazier, guard out of LSU, who's also played multiple positions on the offensive line. We have 3 picks left. Jimon Dumas-Johnson is an underrated linebacker whose skill set should translate well into the NFL despite likely a day 3 selection in the 2025 draft. The Kentucky defender combines explosive short area movement, linear speed, sharp pursuit angles, and coverage with impressive play strength and physicality against the run. His natural instincts and abilities to navigate blockers make him a promising prospect at the next level. Jay Higgins out of Iowa, 6 feet, 224, and he was what, 6'4", 238. No. I'm going to go linebacker here, Jimon Dumas-Johnson. I'm going to go linebacker here. So I decided to go linebacker right here. We're going Jimon Dumas Johnson. Linebacker out of Kentucky. Okay. We're doing that. So let's review our picks so far. Let's review. Okay. So far, we've selected Walter Nolan, D tackle out of Ole Miss, Princely Uman-Meland, edge rusher out of Ole Miss, Gunnar Helm, tight end out of Texas, Malachi Moore, safety out of Alabama, Miles Frazier, guard out of LSU, who has position versatility along the offensive line. And we selected linebacker Jamin Dumas Johnson. Okay. And for the record, just so you guys know, this entire draft class is SEC. That wasn't intentional, by the way. That wasn't intentional. But this entire draft class just happens to be SEC. Two Ole Miss guys, a Texas kid, an Alabama kid, LSU, and Kentucky. We got 2 picks left. And then we're going to review every single pick, okay? Okay. Let's see. I think I know where I'm going to go position-wise. It's just a matter of who's available to me. See, the thing is, 5'9", 182, backup nickel. I hear what you're saying, S. Blunt. But my concern is, can he play the run? Can he tackle? He's 5'9". Can he tackle? 5'9", 182. Can he tackle? No, 184 is gone. You see, I just want to, if I'm going to take a chance on somebody, I want somebody that got some traits. Carson Vincent, Alabama A&M, 6'7", 314. Ooh. Carson Vincent is a 5-year starter who has lots of experience with playing Division I football, having taken over 3,300 snaps, and has only lined up at left tackle through his career. He is a physically gifted lineman who is tall, with long arms, and a strong player who can get his hands on an opponent and finish the rep. Vincent plays with a high motor and clearly enjoys the physical side of the game, but is also a technically sound pass blocker who plays with a wide base and narrow hands. It can be difficult to get around him because of how wide he is, and he has a good point of attack strength as a run blocker. Vincent has a very average get off, like an explosive off the line. He hasn't always needed due to his level of competition, but it is something that could get exposed once he gets to the NFL level. Has been penalized 23 times in the past 4 years. He's been penalized 23 times over the past 4 years. That's a lot, bro. That's an average of almost 5 penalties a season. He's been a 5-year starter and has 23. That's like an average of 6 penalties over 4 years. But you can coach that out of him. You can coach that out of him, I would imagine. Six 5 323, 6 0 316. Carson Vincent. Hmm. Jeff Stoutland can work with that. He could work with that. Hmm. I need to lead this draft with a tackle. I may not need to grab him now, but who's there? Uh, hmm. Who's Upton Stout? 5'8", 181. No. Justin Wiley, 5'10", 190. The corner with average size and length, who primarily lined up an outside corner of Minnesota. Solid overall on ball production, can finish plays, but given opportunity, instinctive player with nice ability to read and react to plays. Mm, mm, mm. Jalen Smith is a cornerback with average size and length with versatility at box safety, free safety, slot corner, and outside corner. Huh? Okay. Fluid hips with good transitions and the ability to stick with receivers in and out of breaks. Efficient mover with good footwork and the ability to match receivers off the line and downfield. Well below average on ball production. Only 4 career pass breakups. Not a dominant player at the catch point. An effective blitzer who can put pressure on the quarterback. Good read and reactability to make plays around the line of scrimmage. Very good run defender, open foot tackler. Interesting. Interesting. He plays football very well. He can improve in coverage. I kind of like this. I kind of like this guy. Hold on. 203, Zai Frazier. Let me see. Okay, 6'2", 186. Okay. Zai Frazier, former junior college All-American, but has only 1 year of starting experience at the FBS level. Okay. Not a big deal. Outstanding size and length, good press corner who wins those reps at a high level due to his length and physicality. Frazier was primarily used as an outside corner at UTSA. Long strider who can cover lots of ground. He possesses natural acceleration paired with excellent long speed. Very good tackler. Only missed 2 tackles a season. Has a career 5.6% missed tackle rate. Physical player who isn't afraid of taking on contact. An active run defender who can make plays in that department. Does an excellent job of limiting big plays when targeted. Ooh, I like this. I like him. Everything I like about Jalen Smith, Zai Frazier has that and some. The only difference is the school. And that's not something I care about. Okay. I'm going Zai Frazier. I like that. I'm sold on him. The size, the tackling ability. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be someone who overlooks or undervalues tackling ability, but someone being a willing tackler, especially in open space, who can also play the ball at the catch point, physical, good measurables. I'm not going to be deterred from a guy because of the school. I'm not. Now, what the hell is UTSA? Let me look that up real quick. UTSA. UTSA. Okay, UTSA, University of Texas at San Antonio. Okay. American the AAC. All right. And then I'm going to go Carson Vincent. I want him. I could work with him. All right. Okay. There you have it, you guys. That's our draft. That's our draft class. That's our draft class. All right. We're going to revisit this. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. You guys are tuned in to Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge to the game. I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II. All right. Here are our draft picks. And again, let's check out the survey. I haven't looked at it in a while. All right. So the survey has been updated. We have 143 votes. 44% of you guys said safety is top priority. 38% of you guys said D-line is top priority. 9% of you guys said tight end is top priority. 8% of you guys said O-line is top priority. All right, so safety and D-line, they're pretty close. They're pretty close. They're pretty neck and neck. 44% versus 38%. Not that drastic, but still a 6% disparity based on 143 votes. So if we're doing some quick math here, almost about 63 of you guys said safety is top priority. And 54 of you guys said D-line is priority. Not that drastic. All right. So what are our thoughts with this? What are our thoughts? Remember, our picks came from round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, and we had 4 fifth-round picks. In this draft class here, we did not do any trades. I repeat, we did not do any trades today. We're going to do trades the next time we get together and do a mock draft. But right now, we're not doing any trades. So obviously, the Philadelphia Eagles have 4 fifth-round picks. They're not going to stay there, obviously. I personally don't even believe the Philadelphia Eagles are going to stay at pick 32 in the first round. I really don't. I think they're either going to trade up or trade back. But today, I wanted to kind of just set a baseline a little bit. I wanted to set a baseline and sort of just pick with who would fall to the Eagles at any given pick. I just wanted to see who would be there just to set a little bit of a baseline for ourselves. Okay? I actually don't mind this draft class. I don't mind this draft class at all. Now, and again, we're going to review all these guys, by the way. We're going to review all these guys. Okay? So as a matter of fact, let me put all these draft picks so the first guy we're going to look at is Walter Nolan. We're going to do our due diligence on Walter Nolan, okay? Let's look at him real quick. Also, if you guys want, You guys can take a screenshot of this draft class and use it as a reference point. We are going to revisit this. I marked it down here, but we're going to review this, okay? And this isn't going to be the first draft. This isn't going to be the first mock draft. This isn't going to be the first mock draft. We're going to do plenty more of these. But if you want, screenshot this so you'll be able to reference it. Okay? But I'm also going to keep track as well. So let's review who we have. Walter Nolan, D tackle out of Ole Miss. Princely Umanmielen, edge rusher out of Ole Miss. Gunnar Helm, tight end out of Texas. Malachi Moore, safety out of Alabama. Miles Frazier, guard out of LSU. Jamin Dumas Johnson, linebacker out of Kentucky. Zah Frazier, cornerback out of University of Texas, San Antonio. Carson Vincent, out of offensive tackle out of Alabama A&M. Okay? Let's check out Walter Nolan. Walter Nolan, 6'4", 296. Junior. Let's look at some of the measurables here. Walter Nolan is also able to play nose tackle and D tackle. He ran a 4.95 40-yard dash. He's 21 years old. He did get invited to the Senior Bowl. Okay, ESPN had him as a 5-star. 24/7 Sports has him as a 5-star. Rivals.com has him as a 5-star. His draft projection projected to go first round, mid of the first round. Overall ranking is 19th. His positional ranking is 6th. Played 35 college games and logged just over 1,200 college snaps. Says here for Walter Nolan, born in Memphis, Tennessee, Walter Nolan's path to becoming an elite defensive tackle prospect was anything but conventional. The former 5-star recruit showcased his talents across 3 different high schools, starting at Olive Branch in Mississippi before stops at St. Benedict and Powell High in Tennessee. At Powell, Nolan put together a dominant senior campaign with 17 tackles and 33 tackles, 17 sacks and 33 tackles for loss, while leading his team to a state championship. His stellar play earned him Under Armour All-American honors and unanimous 5-star status from every major recruiting service. So he's a winner. He won in high school. He's been a dominant force. 17 sacks and 33 tackles at Powell High School in Tennessee. Under Armour All-American honors, unanimous 5-star. After signing with Texas A&M, Nolan made an immediate impact as a true freshman in 2022, appearing in 10 games with 4 starts. His sophomore season saw increased playing time with 10 starts in 12 games, but it was his transfer to Ole Miss in 2024 where everything clicked. Nolan exploded onto the scene as a key cog in the nation's top rush defense. Wow, so he was a part of the country's #1 run defense. I like that. Just so you guys are aware, we are looking at Walter Nolan's draft profile here. Okay. That's good, though. He went to Ole Miss and was a key contributor on the nation's #1 run defense, earning consensus All-American honors while racking up 14 tackles for loss and 6.5 sacks. I like that. His dominant junior campaign culminated in being named an Outland Trophy finalist and earning invitations to both the Senior Bowl and multiple award semifinalist lists. The numbers only tell part of the story. Nolan's impact went far beyond the box score. He was the anchor of an Ole Miss defense that set school records with 52 sacks and 120 tackles for loss in 2024. Sheesh. His consistent disruption in the backfield, highlighted by multiple 3+ tackle for loss performances, showed his ability to take over games. The transformation from highly touted recruit to dominant SEC defender has positioned Nolan as one of the premier interior defensive line prospects in this draft class. Okay. He's better than I thought he was. Scouting reports strengths. Explosive first step off the snap allows him to consistently beat offensive linemen into their set and dictate initial engagement. Shows up repeatedly against both run and pass. Natural leverage winner who plays with outstanding pad level and core strength, allowing him to control the point of attack and reset the line of scrimmage against single blocks. Walter Nolan displays impressive lateral agility and change of direction skills for a 305-pounder, making him a nightmare on stunts and twists where he can utilize his quickness. Brings a nasty demeanor to the trenches with a relentless motor that wears on interior offensive linemen with over four quarters of play. Versatile defender who can align anywhere from 0 to 5 technique. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Giving defensive coordinators flexibility in how to deploy him situationally. Displays natural feel for rushing the passer with quick swim moves and effective bull rush. Consistently collapses the pocket even when not recording a sack. Now the weaknesses. Sometimes Walter Nolan can get caught playing too high at times, especially when fatigued late in games, allowing offensive linemen to get underneath his pads and control the point of attack. I think he could work on that. That's fixable. Needs to develop more consistent hand usage and pass rush. Too often relies on pure athleticism rather than refined technique to win his battles. We can work on that. That's just experience. Below average arm length, 33 inches, shows up when trying to disengage from blocks, can get stuck on blocks longer than ideal when initial move doesn't win. Okay. Shows some inconsistency maintaining gap discipline against power run schemes, occasionally getting washed down the line when playing too aggressively upfield. Okay, we can work on that. Counter pass rush moves remain a work in progress. Tends to stay with initial move too long rather than transitioning to secondary options. Okay. We can work on that. We can work on that. I like that pick. I like that pick a lot. Walter Nolan, I like that. I think Walter Nolan was the right pick for what we have. I like that pick a lot. All right. Let's transition to our next guy here. Our next draft pick was Princely Umanmielen. Princely Umanmielen, edge rusher out of Ole Miss. This should be interesting. All right, here we go. All right, next up we have Princely Umanmielen, 6'4", 244 pounds, edge rusher, senior. 10.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 37 tackles, 19 solo. Okay, 22 years old, was invited to the Senior Bowl. (6'4", 244 pounds. Ran a 4.72 40, a 38 inch vertical jump, a 126 inch broad jump, a 1.62 10-yard split, 81, almost an 82 inch wingspan. Okay. He's projected to go early second round. Overall projection, overall ranking, the 33rd overall ranked player. He's the 12th ranked overall at his position, apparently. Played in 56 college games, logged over 1,800 snaps. He's a unanimous 4-star recruit on ESPN, 24/7 Sports, and Rivals.com. All right, let's read his draft profile, and then we're going to read his strengths and weaknesses summary, the Scott report. Says here, Princely Umanmielan's path to the NFL draft reads like a case study in development and determination. The Texas native emerged from Manor High School as a coveted 4-star recruit, choosing Florida over top programs like Texas and Auburn after a dominant senior season where he racked up 90 tackles and 10 sacks. His progression through 4 seasons in Gainesville showed steady growth, but it was his transfer to Ole Miss that truly unlocked his potential. In his lone season with the Rebels, Umanmielan exploded for 10.5 sacks, tied for second most in school history, while anchoring the nation's top rush defense. The move to Lane Kiffin's aggressive scheme proved transformative as he developed into a first-team All-SEC performer and second-team All-American. What jumps off the tape immediately is how Umanmielan's game elevated in Oxford's wide 9 alignments. The statistical jump wasn't just about scheme. His technical refinement showed up consistently, particularly in a 3-game stretch where he logged multiple sacks in each contest. That run included a momentum-shifting performance against Georgia, where he notched 2 solo sacks and forced a fumble, showing he could dominate against elite competition. His combination of length and explosiveness started translating more consistently, evidenced by his team-leading 14 quarterback hurries and 13.5 tackles for loss. Beyond the numbers, Umanmielan's impact was felt in many ways that don't show up in the box score. His ability to command attention opened opportunities for teammates, contributing to Ole Miss setting school records with 52 sacks and 120 tackles for loss. Even in games where he wasn't recording sacks, like the season finale against Duke, where he registered 5 quarterback hurries, his presence forced offenses to adjust protection schemes and created advantageous situations for the defense. Princely Umanmielan. So far, so good. All right, let's get to the scouting report summary. It says the film shows a pass rusher who operates best with his hands in the dirt in wide alignments, where he can maximize his length and burst. His third down impact jumps off the screen. The way he embarrassed Georgia's right tackle with a lightning quick first step before countering inside showcases exactly what he brings to an NFL front. Moving him around the formation unlocks his versatility. He's got the juice to threaten the edge and enough savvy to loop inside on stunts, creating constant confusion for protection schemes. When studying his season-long progression at Ole Miss, his technical growth under position coach Randall Joyner stands out. Early in the year, he was winning primarily on pure athleticism. By November, he was setting up tackles and deliberate rush plans, shown perfectly in that 3-game stretch where he racked up 6 sacks using 3 different signature moves. The consistency in high leverage situations, third downs, 2-minute drills, red zone demonstrates a rusher ready to contribute in crucial passing situations from day one. After breaking down over 500 snaps, Umanmielan's blend of physical skills and technical refinement suggests a player whose development is still on a sharp upward trajectory. His dominance against SEC competition wasn't just about winning with athleticism. It was his ability to string together multiple rush moves and counter effectively when his initial plan failed. In the right system that lets him pin his ears back and hunt from wide alignments, he has the tools to become one of the premier pass rushers in his class. Interesting. I like this guy. Princely Umanmielan. What I like about him the most is the rate at which he develops, how quickly he learns. That's what I like about him the most, how quickly he learns. Now, obviously, he likes to put his hands in the dirt. He likes to be, that wide. He likes that wide 9. But again, based off what I read, whatever you put in front of him, he can learn it. He sounds like a very intelligent player. All right, let's get to our next draft pick here. Where are we? All right, let's try to get through this. We got Gunnar Helm, tight end out of Texas. Let's look up my man Gunnar. I know a lot of you guys wanted Elijah Arroyo, but we're going to look for Gunnar here. Gunnar Helm out of Texas, 6'5", 241. Okay. All right, Gunnar Helm, 6'5", 241, senior, 60 catches, 786 yards, 7 touchdowns, average 13 yards of reception. All right, ran a 4.84 40, 22 years old, was invited to the Senior Bowl. Okay. Nothing really jumps out athletically. Was a 3-star athlete based on ESPN and 24/7 Sports, and a 4-star based on Rivals.com. Okay. Let's go right to his scouting report summary. Says here, Gunnar Helm is a tight end ready to contribute in the pass game from day one. From day one, while possessing the framework to develop into a complete player. His basketball background shows up consistently in his ability to win contested catches and box out defenders, skills that will translate immediately to the NFL red zone packages. The natural hands and instincts for finding soft spots and zone coverage will make him a reliable chain mover from the jump. Good to hear. Watch Helm's touchdown against Michigan or his clutch grabs in the college football playoff. This is a player who rises to big moments. The way he sets up defenders with subtle head fakes and shoulder leans reminds me of a young Tyler Higbee, another converted basketball player who developed into a complete tight end. When Helm gets mismatched up against linebackers or smaller safeties, he knows how to use his frame to create throwing windows and make himself available to his quarterback despite lacking speed. I like that. Intelligent player, knows how to move in the zone, knows how to get open, knows how to play to his size, knows how to use his body, knows how to big boy little guys. May not be the fastest guy. But his ability to get open is bar none. Give him 2 years to add functional strength and refine his blocking technique, and you're looking at a potential 3-down tight end who can line up anywhere in the formation. His combination of reliable hands, natural feel for space, and emerging route craft gives him one of the highest floors in this tight end class. Teams running heavy 12 personnel packages will see an immediate contributor who can develop into much more. Now, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I would like to keep Dallas Goedert. I would like to get this kid on the field with Dallas Goedert and see how that looks. Well, aren't you guys curious about that? I would like to get Gunnar Helm on the field with Dallas Goedert, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith, and Saquon Barkley. Again, a guy who's he's not the fastest. I'll give him that. Not the fastest. You know what I mean? But everybody can't be Kyle Pitts fast. Most tight ends in the league aren't Kyle Pitts fast. They're not. But this kid knows how to move in space, knows how to take advantage of the zone, knows how to box out, knows how to create a target for the quarterback. Plays to his size, plays to his strengths. I'm not saying he has to be the guy, but I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by him. I'm very intrigued by him. Former basketball player. And can do everything given the opportunity. He can catch the ball. He knows how to get open. You see, me personally, speed is overrated. Can you get open? Speed is overrated. Can you get open? Can you catch? Are you an easy target? Are you an easy target for the quarterback? Speed is overrated. I'm telling you guys this. Now, Elijah Arroyo, I'm really curious to learn more about him. Maybe we pick him in our next mock draft. Maybe we pick Elijah Arroyo in our next mock draft. But speed is overrated. Can you get open? Do you have good hands? Are you a willing blocker? Can you block when asked upon? Because based off what I read, they said to give him about a year or two, and he'll be able to do everything for you. They said give him about a year or two, and he'll be able to do everything for you. Catch, block. Listen. So these are his ratings here. Hands, 85%. Short receiving, 85%. Intermediate routes, 91%. Deep threat, 90%. Blocking, 60%. That only can get better. His quarterback, he has a 137.2 quarterback rating when targeted. Look at this. Look at this. Seriously, look at this. Remember, your tight end is never going to be as good a blocker as your offensive lineman. But can he be serviceable? Can he hold up long enough? Is he going to improve? Is he going to improve? And based off the scouting report, again, I don't watch college football. So I rely heavily on scouting reports. And I try to read different ones and compare notes. And I try to watch what I can. And I like listening to smart people when they talk. Especially the guys that really study the college game. But hands can affect the game on all three levels: short, intermediate, deep. Has a 60% blocking rating and can only get better. Has a 137.2 passer rating when targeted. He is a reliable target for a quarterback. Extremely reliable. And based off what I read here, it says give him 2 years. Give him 2 years to add functional strength and refine his blocking technique. And you're looking at a potential 3-down tight end who can line up anywhere in the formation. His combination of reliable hands, natural feel for space, and emerging route craft gives him one of the highest floors in his tight end class. I would like to see him play with Dallas Goedert, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Saquon Barkley and see what he's able to do with that. I would like to see that. Here are his measurables. My man S. Blunt says, if Goedert is gone, we may need a second-round tight end versus third. You're probably right. Let me get to some of these super chats. I didn't even really read them. K.O. the Green says, I hear D-line depth is crazy, but not really top-end talent-wise. More so a lot of second-round talents, and that's where the depth lies. S. Blunt, you read this one. Fanny says, here's my 2 cents. Thank you for the $20 super chat, Fanny. She says, here's my 2 cents. No one asked for. Malachi Moore can play corner and safety. He's a versatile player that can be used in either position and will work well in Fangio's scheme. Plus, he will definitely fall to round 2. Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. Jay the Legend says, take Princely. Got him. Jay the Legend also says, Gunnar Helm was in the Eagles' top 30 visit. Ah, was he now? S. Blunt says, if Goddard is gone, we may need a second-round tight end versus a third. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, let's keep this thing going here. I want to try to get through this. But so far, I like Gunnar Helm. I like that. I like that move. 6'5", 241. I like that, personally. All right, who we got next? We got Malachi Moore. Malachi Moore. Okay. Hmm. All right. All right, we got Malachi Moore next up. 5'11", 196, senior. 2 interceptions, 8 pass deflections, 70 tackles, 40 solo. All right. Malachi Moore, a man zone free safety, 23 years old, ran a 4.5 40. His overall ratings, the average rating of opposition offense players face 82%. So he's played against some pretty stiff competition. A 78.5 QB rating when targeted. Tackling has a 91% rating. Run defense 82%, coverage 94%, zone 92%, man press 89%. He's projected to go in the 4th round. Overall ranking 136, position ranking number 26. College games, played in 59 total games, just over 3,000 college snaps. He's a unanimous 4-star recruit via ESPN, 24/7 Sports, and Rivals.com. Let's go immediately to his scouting report summary. So it says here about Malachi Moore, put the tape on, and you'll see a defensive back who processes the game at a high level. The kind of player who could find his role in an NFL defensive sub packages from day one. The league shift towards versatile safeties who can match up in man coverage while still handling deep responsibilities plays right into Malachi Moore's skill set, even if he might not be a walk-in starter. What jumps out watching Malachi Moore's film is his feel for coverage, the way he baits quarterbacks, his understanding of route combinations, and his ability to close space in zone coverage. Teams running pattern match coverages will appreciate his ability to process information pre-snap and adjust on the fly. Malachi Moore's experience in Nick Saban's NFL-style defense means he's already speaking the language of pro football, which should help him contribute early in sub packages. Looking at Malachi Moore's total package, Moore projects as a valuable depth piece who could develop into a starter by year 3 if he continues to progress. Smart defensive coordinators will find ways to maximize his coverage instincts in specific packages while he develops into a more complete player. While he might not have the elite physical traits some teams covet at safety, his football IQ and coverage ability make him an interesting target for teams looking to add secondary depth on day 3 of the NFL draft. The film shows a player who can carve out a role in the right system, particularly for teams that emphasize coverage versatility and pre-snap complexity in their defensive scheme. So this is a very smart player. Malachi Moore is a very intelligent player, versatile, very good in coverage, can play man, can play zone. Still refining his technique, but he's capable of handling a lot of responsibilities. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. I think we drafted him exactly where we were supposed to draft him, personally. All right, let's keep this thing going here. Miles Frazier, guard out of LSU. Let's look him up real quick. All right, Miles Frazier. 6'6", 317. LSU senior from Camden, New Jersey. Oh, okay, so he's from the side. Okay, he from the East Coast. Okay, let's bring him home. Let's see what's popping. Miles Frazier can play left guard or right guard. A 5'2", 40-yard dash, was invited to the Senior Bowl. 6'6", 317 pounds. A 179 10-yard split. Has a 100 pass blocking rating. Still has room to grow in his run blocking. Draft projection 4th round. Overall ranking 110th. Position ranking 20th. Logged in 55 college games and over 3,200 college snaps. Was considered to be a 3-star recruit via ESPN and 24/7 Sports. Miles Frazier out of LSU. Guard. Let's get to the scouting report. It says Miles Frazier, when the tape rolls on Miles Frazier, you're watching a guard whose pass protection skills significantly outshine his run blocking. His eyes track movement exceptionally well in pass pro, and when defenders try to bull rush, they quickly discover they're pushing against a brick wall. The lack of sacks allowed in his final 20 collegiate games isn't a fluke. It's a testament to his anchoring ability and hand placement when defenders attack straight ahead. Frazier brings legitimate knockback power at the point of attack when he connects cleanly. His film against SEC competition shows a mean streak when drive blocking that coordinators will appreciate. The heavy hands are there. You can almost feel defensive linemen getting jolted through the screen. However, he's still developing as a consistent run blocker, particularly when asked to move laterally. His effectiveness diminishes significantly on plays requiring quick redirection or second-level targeting, and he'll need technical refinement to overcome these limitations at the second level or at the next level. The gap between Frazier's pass blocking prowess and the run game inconsistency creates an interesting evaluation. He'll immediately provide pass protection value in a phone booth while requiring patience and development in the run game. Inside zone teams will appreciate his ability to generate vertical push, but wide zone concepts will expose his athletic limitations. Teams with gap scheme principles that maximize his natural power and minimize his lateral movement requirements will find the most value in the skill set. Frazier's durability, positional versatility, and elite pass protection foundation give him a pathway to becoming a quality NFL starter, despite the technical refinement still needed in his game. So you got somebody here. Who spectacular at pass blocking, but has room to grow in run blocking. Personally, I feel like that's a better place to be than somebody who can run block, but they can't pass block. I feel like pass blocking is more difficult, and run blocking I feel like that can be worked out. I'm willing to work with this, though. Somebody who's technically sound at pass blocking, which is important. And you can kind of get away with the run blocking. He can be a little inconsistent. All right. Let's keep this ball rolling here. We got 3 more players to look at. We got Jamin Dumas-Johnson to look at, Zai Frazier, and Carson Vincent. We're going to try to speed through these. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support here. It means a lot, you guys. Okay. So we got Jamin Dumas-Johnson. All right. Let's search. All right. Damn, this guy look 40. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, man. Jamin Dumas look 40. Am I tripping? He looked 40. He looked 30. Like, I mean, let's be real. Jamin Dumas, 6'1", 238 out of Kentucky, a senior. Let's see what we got here. Play style, multi-role linebacker. Ran a 4.5 40, 23 years old. Was invited to the Shrine Bowl. That 4.5 40 is legit. That 4.5 40 is legit. A 126 broad jump, a 37.5-inch vertical. Okay, he got some athleticism to him. Devontae Graham says, Tone, Jamin Dumas is my favorite pick. I ain't mad about that. I appreciate that. Melly J said that man been through some things. Y'all funny, man. All right, let's get to the overall ratings. So, says here, overall rating 78 out of 100. The offensive competition he's faced has a 79% rating. Tackling 69%, pass rush 70%, run defense 70%, coverage 58%. Projected to be a 7th rounder. Overall ranking 229th, position ranking 20th. Logged in 42 college games, just over 1,600 snaps. He was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school, according to ESPN, 24/7 Sports, and Rivals.com, respectively. Let's get to the scouting summary. Says here, Jamin Dumas-Johnson projects as a high floor prospect with the potential to be an immediate contributor in the NFL. His combination of size, instincts, and physicality make him an ideal fit for teams employing a 3-4 defensive scheme or those valuing downhill, thumping inside linebackers. While he may not have the elite athleticism to be a top 10 pick, Dumas-Johnson's production against top-tier SEC competition and championship pedigree will certainly appeal to pro scouts. In the NFL, Dumas-Johnson should excel as a run stopper and a short area defender. His ability to quickly diagnose plays and attack gaps will make him a valuable asset on early downs. Additionally, his blitzing prowess adds an element of pass rush potential that coordinators can exploit in sub packages. To maximize his effectiveness, Jamin Dumas-Johnson would benefit from playing alongside a more athletic, coverage-oriented linebacker who can complement his strengths. Sounds like Zack Baun. It says here, Dumas-Johnson would benefit from playing alongside a more athletic, coverage-oriented linebacker who can complement his strengths. That sounds like Zack Baun, sounds like N'Kobe Dean. You know what I mean? His weaknesses says he lacks elite sideline-to-sideline range, which may limit his effectiveness in space against faster NFL offenses. Can struggle at times in man coverage against more athletic tight ends and running backs out of the backfield, so he needs to improve in coverage. Tackling efficiency has been inconsistent, with missed tackles with a missed tackle rating exceeding 15% in each of the past 2 seasons. Recent forearm injury raises durability concerns. It will require a thorough medical evaluation during the pre-draft process. May need to improve his ability to consistently disengage from blocks at the second level to be a true 3-down NFL linebacker. He got some work to do. I'll tell you that. But this brother, he been through something, man. He been through something. I'll tell you that right now. He been through something. All right, let's move on. We got 2 players left. We got Zack Frazier. We got Carson Vincent. Okay, for some reason he's not coming up. Let me look up corner. Zack Frazier, he's a corner, right? Okay. Let's see here. Defensive backs, corners. All right, let's see if we can find him. Zack Frazier to give me a hard time here. Zack Frazier, where are you? Zack Frazier. He's not on here for some reason. All right, let me try to find some information about Zack Frazier. Give me a second. All right. Okay. All right. I found something on him. Oh, his name is Troy Franklin. His name Troy Franklin. Okay, all right. I overlooked him. Not the same guy, though. Huh. Anyway, let's bring this on screen here. All right. Why do they call him Zack? I'm confused now. Hold on. Is his name Zack Frazier or what? I'm confused now. I'm confused. Is this him? I think it's him, right? Is this him? I think it's him, right? Because they got him as Troy Franklin. Somebody tell me if this is him. Troy Franklin comes up when I look up Zack Frazier. S. Blunt said, I don't know. What the fuck? This guy says it's here a corner right here. Zack Frazier, 6'2", 186. They got his situation all messed up. They need to fix this situation because let me check something out. Zack Frazier. Okay, so that is him. Why does NFL.com have him under Troy Franklin? That's fucked up. That's fucked up, man. His name is Zack Frazier, not Troy Franklin. Come on, man. That's not cool, man. That's not cool, man. That's out of pocket, bro. That boy named Zack Frazier. They not thorough. Because the links say Zack Frazier. But then when you go to it, it say Troy Franklin. Bro, they out of pocket, bro. Somebody they gotta be stopped. All right, 6'3", 186 pounds, almost 33-inch arms, 8-inch hands. Elite athlete. Ran a 4.36, a 151 10-yard split, a 36.5-inch vertical jump, a 10 foot 6-inch broad jump, 7-second 3-cone drill, a 4.26 20-yard shuttle. This dude fast, man. All right, let's zoom in a little bit, learn about him. It says long-limbed corner with low career rep count, but impressive production in lone starting season. Zack Frazier is long. See, they got his name right here. Frazier is long, fast, and athletic, but upright and gawky and transitions from off-man coverage. He stays connected to all forms of vertical routes and uses his length and leaping ability to shade deep windows for the quarterback. He sees well from zone coverage and can burst stride into plays on the football field that some can't get to. Frazier will turn 25 years old as a rookie and started only 10 games at UTSA, but his traits, in-season improvement, and ball production can make him a day 3 pick with upside as an outside corner. Strengths: tall, long, very fast, has the tools to become more inconsistent hindrance, impressive coverage, adequate play recognition in response to quarterbacks, hitches rides on vertical routes and stays in phase, burst, stride, and wingspan, bringing all-ball production. Racked up 15 pass defense, including 6 interceptions in 2024. Weaknesses: turns 25 in October and started for only one season at University of Texas San Antonio. Can be overly responsive to route fakes and off-man coverage. Sticky hips. Slow his transition and lateral burst. Looks uncomfortable turning to find the ball even when he's in position. Misses interceptions or breakups that he should make. He's a project. He old, though. He old. But he has some he got some things working for him, though. I'll tell you that. All right, let's keep it going. We got our last person here, Carson Vincent. Let's see if they do him justice, okay? Carson Vincent. There we go, Alabama A&M. Carson Vincent. Okay, here we go, Carson. Jeez, Carson, lay off the za. Lay off the za, Carson. Damn. 6'7", 314 pounds. Alabama A&M. That's HBCU, right? I think that's HBCU. Alabama A&M football. Let's see here. They are in the Southwestern. Yeah, the SWAC. Yeah, that's HBCU, baby. HBCU, Alabama A&M Bulldogs. Okay. Let's bring in the HBCU kid. I like that. All right, let's bring it on screen here. All right. 6'7", 314. Okay. Played mainly left tackle. Got invited to the Senior Bowl. 6'7", 314, a 5'1", 240. That's pretty good. Almost an 84-inch wingspan. That's really good. What is this? A 1.80 10-yard split. Could be better. It's pretty mediocre. A 7.51 3-cone split. That's really good. And a 111 broad jump is really, really good. He's an athlete. He's pretty nimble for his size. Okay. Now it says here the average rating of opposition defense faced is 52%. So he didn't really go up against the craziest competition, but pass blocking is at an 89% rating. Run blocking is at an 80% rating. Okay, and this kid is let's see how old he is. Projected to go 7th round. 47 college games played, over 3,300 snaps. A 2-star athlete, according to 24/7 Sports and Rivals.com. Let's go to the scouting report summary. It says Carson Vincent projects as a developmental tackle prospect who can compete for a swing tackle role by mid-season of his rookie year. I like that. His stellar track record in pass protection and proven durability over 3,300 snaps suggests a more advanced technical foundation than initially apparent. While the competition level jumps is significant, his performance against Auburn showed encouraging adaptability. His ideal landing spot would be in a zone-heavy scheme or a zone-heavy system that can maximize his mobility while allowing him to add functional strength. Teams running outside zone concepts could view him as a valuable day 3 selection with the potential to provide quality depth early while developing into a possible starter. The Senior Bowl will be crucial in validating this projection against the elevated competition. Despite the small school background, Carson Vincent's high-level pass protecting metrics and consistent technical improvement suggest he's closer to NFL ready than many HBCU prospects. A realistic expectation would be quality depth in year 1 with potential to push for starting snaps by year 2 if his development continues on trajectory. Okay. All right. So this is a nice mound of clay for Jeff Stoutland. I like it. I like it. Jeff Stoutland can work with this. He really can. Carson Vincent. Not bad at all. All right. So just to remind you guys, all of our picks, Walter Nolan, D tackle out of Ole Miss, Princely Uman-Meland, edge rusher out of Ole Miss, Gunnar Helm, tight end out of Texas, Malachi Moore, safety out of Alabama, Miles Frazier, guard out of LSU, Jamin Dumas-Johnson, linebacker out of Kentucky, Za Frazier, cornerback out of University of Texas, San Antonio, and Carson Vincent, offensive tackle out of Alabama A&M. All right. There you guys have it. Those are our mock draft 1.0 selections for the Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Vincent is projected to be a 7th rounder. Za Frazier is projected to be a 7th rounder as well. Jamin Dumas-Johnson is projected, I believe, to be a 6th or 7th rounder also. Miles Frazier and up, they're projected to be, I think Miles Frazier is projected to be like a 4th or a 3rd rounder. Gunnar Helm projected to be a 3rd or a 2nd. Princely is projected to be an early 2nd, late 1st. Walter Nolan is projected to be a mid 1st. So again, today we weren't doing any trades. We weren't doing any trades today. But we are going to do trades going forward. All right? So I don't want you guys to get a little worried about us reaching for certain guys. We're going to do some trades going forward. But today, I just wanted to see what would happen if we just stuck to our guns here, all right? So we're going to get out of here. I can't wait to do our next mock draft, you guys. We're going to do our second mock draft one day this week. I'm not sure exactly what day yet, but we are going to do another mock draft this week. That's a fact. And we're probably going to do at least 5 before the draft gets here. We have a month before the draft. We have about 30 days before draft night. I think the draft starts April 24th on a Thursday. So there we go, you guys. Once again, our draft picks: Walter Nolan, D tackle in the first round; Princely Umanmielen, edge rusher in the second round; Gunnar Helm, tight end in the third round; Malachi Moore, safety in the fourth round; Miles Frazier, guard in the fifth round; Jamin Dumas-Johnson, linebacker in the fifth round; Za Frazier, cornerback in the fifth round; and Carson Vincent, offensive tackle in the fifth round. And there you have it. We will do another mock draft this week. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. And I appreciate all of you guys for being active. And as a reminder as well, I'm looking at our poll here, or our survey, and I asked you guys, what's the top priority in the 2025 NFL draft for the Philadelphia Eagles? 197 of you guys voted. 44% of you said safety. 41% of you said defensive line. And 8% of you said O-line. And the other 8% said tight end. All right? Once again, thank you for the support. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. I've been your humble host, Tone DeShields II. You guys have been tuned in to a mock draft edition of Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game.